It's been almost 3 years since I stopped working. If you live in Canada, my situation probably affects you, even if you're not disabled. Whether or not you live in Canada, I hope you find some of this information useful. In this video, I'm going back to March of 2020 when I stopped working. I'll explain the basic process of long-term disability, definitions of disability, and how it affects me. If you're interested in learning more about me, keep watching. For long-term disability claims, the date of disability is the date your medical condition prevented you from working. I stopped working in March of 2020, so that's my date of disability. Prior to that, I worked full-time. My employment was considered a great job with a great benefit package that includes long-term disability coverage, or LTD. LTD pays 70% of my pre-disability income if I'm unable to work because of disability. When I stopped working, I wasn't aware of the extent of my disabilities. My goal was to return to work as soon as possible. When I couldn't return to work right away, my employer told me I should apply for long-term disability. When applying for long-term disability, there's a number of forms that need to be completed: the claimant statement, employer statement, and the medical forms. Here in British Columbia, Canada, the medical forms aren't covered by Basic Medical or MSP Medical Service Plan, so I had to pay a fee to my doctor. All of these forms are sent to the LTD insurance company. The own occupation definition of disability means that your medical condition must prevent you from working your own job. So they consider your medical information and your job. After my LTD payer received these forms, they assessed the information under this definition of disability. In July of 2020, they approved me. I started receiving monthly LTD benefits from them. Notice the vague language used here. It says, "and satisfy all other provisions in your plan." What other provisions? What does it mean? I'll talk more about this in a future video. After receiving LTD benefits for about a year, my insurance company did 3 things. They requested a medical update from my doctor. When they received it, they assessed my medical with the any occupation definition of disability. And they advised me that I'm required to apply for CPP Disability. The any occupation definition of disability means that the disability must prevent you from working any gainful occupation within your range of education, training, or experience that would pay at least 60% of your earnings at the date of disability. In August of 2021, they assessed my claim and approved me under this definition. This means that based on my medical, and unless I recover, I'm eligible to receive LTD benefits until I turn 65. My LTD policy says they can offset other disability income I'm receiving. If the policy is intended to stop people from abusing the system, stop people from making more money by being off work than they would have received had they continued working, well, then it makes sense. But should insurance companies be allowed to abuse this process? Just because they can offset your income, does that mean they should force you to apply for other income? Well, maybe for some things. My LTD policy states that I'm required to apply for Canada Pension Plan Disability, or CPP Disability, so they can force me to apply. I disagree with this policy, so I didn't apply at first. I know I'm eligible to apply because I paid contributions into the fund and because I'm disabled. But I think there's fundamental issues here. As I mentioned in prior videos, I have concerns about CPP disability and how it will affect me now and later, like taxes, early retirement offers, and my income when I turn 65. I'll link those videos in the description box. Even though I did receive some answers, they're confusing and they don't solve my concerns. How can you be forced to apply for something when you have legitimate questions and concerns and you don't have the information you need to make an informed decision? Even though I didn't apply for CPP Disability at first, they continue to pay me full LTD benefits for another 6 months until December 2021. In January of 2022, my LTD payer cut me off and closed my LTD claim to enforce their policy and force me to apply for CPP Disability. Their letter confirms the only reason they cut me off is because I didn't apply for CPP Disability. My health hasn't improved. I'm still totally disabled as defined in my LTD policy, and they've already approved me under both definitions of disability. How can insurance companies deny benefits you're entitled to receive because they want to offset your income? I disagree. I have a lot more I want to say about this, but I'll talk about this in a future video. When they closed my LTD claim, they notified my employer. What did my employer do? They canceled other benefits like access to employer-paid extended health, dental, and life insurance. And they sent me a registered letter telling me one of my options was to resign. Financial burden from not having any income for 4 months adds extra stress and anxiety. It was affecting my health and my family. I had no choice, so I did apply for CPP Disability. In my next video, I'll talk about medical forms and criteria for the CPP Disability process. I have important information to share with you and how it affects me. If it affects me, it probably affects you too. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.